You know that narcissists can be extremely emotionally abusive. But the secondary thing that they do to you is then they turn everyone else against you. And that's when those flying monkeys come in. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Flying monkeys, how narcissists turn the world against you, your family, your friends, everyone. Okay, so you know about the different phases of a narcissistic relationship, I think. It's the love bombing, the discard, and then, well, the love bombing to value, then the discard, right? It's the discard phase. It's that last phase. It's when either you're getting rid of them or they're getting rid of you. That's when you see that birth of the smear campaign. That's when you see these flying monkeys showing up. That's when they line up their minions, they line up their army. They want you to think that the world is against you. Okay, that it's that's when they start to use language like everyone else, no one else. Right? Everyone else thinks, no one else thinks. And that's when you're really starting to think, oh my God, everyone's going to believe their lies. Everyone's going to believe their lies. No one's going to believe me. You really think, oh, the world isn't fair. How can this be? How can this be? And it's so frightening. I get it. I get it. I get it. I've seen it. I've seen it up close. I've seen it on the front lines. So what I want to do here is I want to talk specifically in this video about how they do it. I want to break it down for you on how they turn people against you, because one of the things that I thought for the longest time is that these flying monkeys were actually in on it all the time. But I came to realize after a while that they're not always in on it. And a lot of times they're actually kind of being love bombed and sort of duped by the narcissist too. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Rebecca Zung. I am an attorney. I'm also a narcissist negotiation expert. I am globally recognized. I have a book, Slay the Bully, How to Negotiate with a Narcissist and Win. And if you're new here, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm here to equip you with the tools you need. And we want you to break free because of things like this, because of that bully that they are. And that's why I called my book, Slay the Bully, How to Negotiate with a Narcissist and Win, because of things like this. So the first thing that they do is they kind of define who their flying monkeys are going to be. So they're looking and searching, who's going to be on my side? Who's going to be a good target for me to line up for me? So when a narcissist is looking to turn their family and friends against you, they're looking, who's going to be vulnerable? Who's going to listen to me? Who's going to buy what I'm selling? And they're kind of looking in the same way that they looked for that target in you. You know, who can I charm? Who can I use my charisma on? Who's going to buy my lies? And, you know, by the way, that the term flying monkey comes from the movie, if, you know, the people who don't know this, it comes from the movie Wizard of Oz. And it was, you know, that whole, it refers to the individuals that were part of the Wicked Witches posse, those creatures that would hang around with the Wizard of Oz and fly around, you know, the kingdom and report back to the Wicked Witch and let her know what was going on. And, also individuals who are sort of unwittingly or intentionally manipulated by the narcissist. They kind of do their little spying for them, right? They're sort of like the foot soldiers in the narcissist army. So, how do they do this? How do they manipulate them? I've seen it in a lot of different scenarios, just so you know. Um, so, I mean, and these people can be friends, they can be family members, they can be colleagues, they could be your family members. Seen that? And I've seen it in the oddest of situations, let me tell you. And, they're master manipulators. They use charm, they use guilt tripping, misinformation, and, they turn people into their little pawns. So, and how they do that, it's a variety of different things. If it's a covert narcissist, they might sort of start spreading little rumors like, oh, I'm so concerned about Tony and his drinking problem. I'm so worried about him. He's just been so stressed lately. Just drinking a lot more than he usually does. And, they couch it in terms of care. And, so they make it seem like they're such a good person because they're just worried about the person, and like that. And they might even start dropping these little rumors and seeds in, long before the discard phase even actually happens. And so, and Tony probably doesn't have a drinking problem at all, but they make it seem like, oh my God, I'm so concerned, like that. So it could be like that. Or, it could be creating divisions between people, like, oh, Susie, I don't know that I don't she said this about this person. I don't know. It seemed like she wasn't really on your side. But it might have been inadvertent what she said. And they make it seem like they're, they're like unwitting in it, or they straight up say, you know, I'm the only one who's on your side, and that person isn't for you. This person's not again. And they create divisions like that. They don't give you a message when they should have. Oh, I don't know, the person didn't call you. That sort of thing. Spreading rumors, gaslighting, distorting reality, strategies to get people to be against each other. The next thing they do is characteristics and tactics. So, this is another way that they line up flying monkeys against you. All right. So again, it's they act out in ignorance, or it might be passive aggression. In this instance, it might be guilt tripping. They might use charm. So it might be, oh, this person, this person left me high and dry. I don't have any money. I can't believe they did this to me. I can't believe they're doing this to their children. How could they ignore their children all weekend? Something like that. They make it seem like, you're a terrible father or a terrible mother. They only tell part of the story, something like that. And that's how they line up their flying monkeys, because they attack your character in some way like that, and make it seem like there's something off about you in some way. So, or they make, they use guilt, by they make it seem like you're the victim in some way. They portray themselves as the victim of you in some way. So or they portray that their children, your children, are the victim of you in some way. So very, very subtle, very excellent at that. They might use parts of emails, parts of text messages, or even manipulated text messages to have the flying monkeys see that. They're excellent at, sort of fashioning stories so that flying monkeys only see what they want the narrative to be seen, so that it's set up so that you look like you're just simply a monster. So that's that. And understanding all of this is so crucial to shutting all of this down. And this is where documentation is going to come into play, and not getting emotional is going to come into play. Okay, because when you start playing into their hands, then when the flying monkeys start to see this, they go, well, I did see some aspects of this, and it's going to feed into that, right? So the impact, I just want to talk a moment about the impact on you as a victim when you become the target of that. It can be really pretty heavy. It can be really very devastating on you and traumatic. And so you can find yourself isolated. You can find yourself alone. You can find yourself feeling overwhelmed. I mean, you can find yourself wanting to give up a lot of times. But this is where you have to say, no, I'm not going to do that. This is where you have to say, they only win if I give in. And this is where you have to say, I can definitely turn this around. And I say, do you want to be right about that, or do you want to actually win this thing? Because let me tell you, they do make mistakes often. And with your documentation, with your, your witnesses, your journaling, your keeping track, you do turn it around, because they make mistakes. They lie all the time. And I've worked with countless individuals who have faced this exact situation that you're in. And you have to understand that, I know that the emotional scars are deep. Just seeing the patterns of this, get the emotional help that you need, number one. Start setting boundaries, number two, and understand that you have to start looking at them as if they're a third party having a tantrum on the floor, and go, yeah, I can see that you're upset. I can see that you're having, a bad day. Understand it has nothing to do with you. I can, agree with you that we're not going to agree. I can see that, we might have to continue this conversation when you are calm. There's certain things that you are not going to tolerate anymore. You can negotiate, your contracts, your issues, your terms. You're not going to negotiate your self-worth, your self-respect. And so step one, don't run. And that's when you just start to say, line in the sand, it's time now. That invisible shield is coming down. It's Teflon now, and it's everything else is out here. Observe, don't absorb. You're not going to be able to change their behavior. It's hard enough to change your own. You're not going to be able to change their mindset. You're not going to be able to change their minds. You're not going to be able to stop them from doing what they're doing. But you can start showing up as a different, stronger version of yourself. And then, you can potentially change the minds of the witnesses, by the way. And, so get the help and support you need. I have phrases for disarming narcissists, disarmthenarc.com. So go get those. That'll help you a lot. Disarmthenarc.com. Join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. That will help you to get the help and support that you need. Make sure that you have a good support system, because that is definitely going to help you as well. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear what experiences you guys have had with this. Share your experiences in the comments below. Have you dealt with flying monkeys at all in your life? Give me a yes in the comments if you've dealt with them, and then tell me what some of the experiences are that you've dealt with in the comments below as well. And as we wrap up, I want you to remember that knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So recognizing the tactics of narcissists and how they start lining them up, when they start lining them up, and just starting to see like, okay, I can deal with this, and I know that I have tactics for dealing with this, definitely will help you in reclaiming that control. And by the way, if you found this video helpful, make sure you give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and then share it with somebody who needs it, because that will help you tremendously as well, or help somebody else tremendously as well. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do that now. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. And until next time, I'm Rebecca Zung, and the next video I want you to watch, by the way, is how to shut down a narcissist smear campaign, how to shut down a narcissist smear campaign, because I have a lot more on that in this arena as well. It's going to help you so much, because you can really start to stand in your authentic power. And that's what you really need to do. Start standing in your authentic power. So let's go watch that next video next, how to shut down a narcissist smear campaign. And I can't wait to see you over there. And remember that today's a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'll see you over there.